This episode is brought to you by the Thrive Tribe. Check it out at chasingbrighter.com/Thrive Tribe. Hi, Kelly. How are you doing today?
Jess, you are catching me after I just flew back from our trip
hmm
together in Nashville, and it was weird for me. I told my husband Brian, it was 4 hours door to door, meaning like from the time I hopped in the Uber until the time I pulled into my garage was 4 hours, which is I was literally in Nashville for a period of time.
Being in the Midwest makes you easy to get places in a few hours.
Yeah. Yes. And Nashville is really in a lot of ways, such a charming town.
hmm
It's really easy to get to. The airport is fantastic. It's all new and nice. It's 15 minutes to get everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised this morning from the west side to the east side, which is where the airport is, it took 15 minutes for my Uber
hmm
to get there. I figured
Yeah.
it would take 30.
I went during like peak rush hour, so it was like 35 minutes. We were staying at the same place,
Yeah.
but I
So
feel
that's what I
like
didn't know.
when
Maybe
you're
getting into the city, or maybe because my flight left, I called the
No, when
Uber
I
at 8.
landed, it took me 15 minutes to get to you, but
Okay.
when I left for the airport and I checked Google and it was all red. Just it was a busy time. Our rush hour in Las Vegas starts at
Okay.
3 o'clock,
So it's
and
like
their rush hour
evenings are
might
busy.
start 4:15. Like their rush hour might start. Kelly and I went to the Podcasting Moms conference. It was so fun. I think every time we do these things, we learn a lot. I'm basically just saying what Kelly just told me about. We go to these things, we learn a lot, and then we also feel really great about ourselves because I don't know if our listeners know this, like we are in the top 5% of podcasts and we have a fairly high rating, and being in the top
Yeah.
10% of podcasts is really hard to do. We're in season 3 and I felt like we ranked up there not only with what we're putting out, but actually like higher than a lot of the panelists. And maybe
Yeah.
it's time for us to shift gears and maybe start teaching a little more and talking a little bit more about our journey versus going to take in information because I think we've gained a lot of skills by doing this.
I totally agree, Jess. We have learned
Yeah.
so much about podcasting, and we have put a ton of work into this. I always tell people, they're like, "How do you like podcasting?" I'm always like, "It's a lot of work,"
Mhm.
because we're creating a lot of content. There's a lot of stuff that we're excited to share with our listener, and then also just continue to get feedback from our listeners on things that they want to hear. And we get bored easy. So I think that's part of it too, right? We're like
Yeah.
always churning stuff and
Yes.
keeping ourselves interested, which is really
Yeah.
fun. I also think what was interesting is a lot of podcasters, like we drop a lot of episodes, and the fact that we
Yeah.
really go essentially 10 months a year
Yeah.
with our podcast, I was
Yeah.
surprised that many don't do that.
We probably have 18 more episodes of this season off the top of my head. So that puts us we do about 80 episodes a year, and people are doing 10.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I also love being around other women, other moms. I think we made great connections, and
Yes.
hopefully you listeners, be able to meet some of the people we talked about because we'd love to have them on
Yeah.
the
We're going to have a couple
podcast.
guests. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was great to see you. It makes me realize every time I do a short little trip, it's not that big of a deal to go fly and go do something fun. It really was a jam-packed weekend just regarding the conference, so we didn't get to do Nashville things really. One of the things I want to talk about, and I think you experienced the same thing. So we went to a happy hour one night for the conference, and then the next day was a jam-packed conference, and I was so impressed and inspired with the style of what everyone was wearing, and it was so inspiring to me, and I had a talk with you, Kelly, at the conference, how, like, there were women of all different shapes and sizes, and I literally wasn't looking at their physical body size, I only looked at how adorable and beautiful they looked, and it made me realize how hard I am on myself. I don't know if I tell myself I can't wear that, but, like, oversized suits are really in right now. I am obsessed with the show with I kept telling you about it, Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson. And Kate
Oh,
Hudson
yeah.
is in that show,
Running
Netflix,
Point,
Running Point, and she is always wearing shoulder
like
pad,
a power suit.
oversized. And as a bigger woman, I feel, oh, I can't wear like an oversized outfit or oversized suit. And there were like so many amazing suits there. Would you agree? And
Yeah.
bright colors and so many different styles and fashion that I really want to step up my fashion game.
Yeah. I loved going to the conference and just being with strictly women,
Mhm.
strictly women podcasters or like in this space. And so that
Yeah.
was awesome. It was
Mhm.
great because we really felt like it was definitely our market of people. And one of the hostesses, Kate, had some adorable
Oh my
outfits like
god,
every
her
single
outfits
day.
were
And
so
I don't know if
cute.
I told you I talked to her
Yes,
because
I've
I
heard
love
you.
that. And
Yeah.
everything she was wearing, you're right. We see ourselves so differently. I saw what she wear and I would just be like, I could never pull that off. But then I was like, why not? Like, why couldn't I? Like, anyway, and she's shorter, and so that's some of the issues that I have is things are always too long for me. So, it was really fun talking to her, but she was like, "Oh my gosh, you talked to my husband. I spent so much time with these outfits." She's like, "It's been like 2 or 3 weeks." She was like, "I bought so many things and I didn't know what I was gonna wear." And she was like, "That by the way, that denim skirt,
Yeah.
black denim skirt she wore the one day," she was like, "I just got that yesterday from Amazon." And I was like,
Oh, it was so cute.
and so it was funny. She's like, and then the shirt I ended up having, I've had forever and I ended up wearing it, blah, blah, blah. And so it was really funny, all the things that we go through in our
Yeah.
own fashion journey of sorts.
Yeah.
I loved even just talking about that with women. I think
Mhm.
to that, many of the women put a lot of effort and energy
Yeah.
into what they were wearing, and it came out
Yeah.
looking fabulous. So sometimes
Mhm.
I feel, especially when it comes to fashion, you get out what you put in. Sometimes you get lucky and you just throw something together and it's like your favorite outfit, or you buy something randomly and you love it. And
Yeah.
that is great. But most of the time, that's not the case. And putting that extra energy in so that you can feel good, it's not about really how others think of you, it's about how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kate had like a that puff sleeve shirt, and I would totally have overthought that because I have a bigger chest and then the puff, and it would but I don't think anybody would have thought that when if I wore it. Does that make sense? And so just
Yeah.
like maybe taking some fashion risks. And we talked about you've been doing Rent the Runway. So I don't know if you know this, listeners, because Rent the Runway has been out there for 15 years, 20 years. And it was known for, oh, okay, you have
Like
an
formal
event,
dresses.
you need to
Yeah.
go to a wedding. You can just, so you don't have to spend the money on getting a dress that you never wear again, rent the dress, whatever. But now they have like boxes that you can get 6 pieces of clothing sent to you. There are 3 different options, 3 different prices on how many pieces, because they also have accessories. They have sunglasses, jewelry, and bags, but you get to have pieces and then you pay a monthly fee. And so you're not like wasting with fast fashion. You're not just buying cheap clothes and getting rid of them, but you're just, I think, so I read this article because the other one is Nuuly, Nuuly. And Nuuly is also clothes that you rent. They're saying that Rent the Runway has higher end clothing, more quality, lesser options. Nuuly has way more options because it is owned by URBN or whatever, whoever owns Urban Outfitters and Anthropology owns Nuuly.
Ah.
So it's all
Oh,
of those
okay.
clothes. And Nuuly has more, they go all the way up to 3X, so more size inclusivity, more trendy, edgier clothing. But people are saying maybe not as good quality with Nuuly. But I read the article and everybody was like, either one is great. But I love the idea of bags, of having seasonal bags with Rent the Runway. But Rent the Runway does not have as much in sizing. So I was looking for myself on both Nuuly and Rent the Runway. And when I put my size in, it takes the inventory. And it's because they do, maybe it's out of stock in my size, maybe whatever. But anyways, it like really broke it, like 75% of it went away. So I think there are certain sizes that are easier to get.
Yeah, in fact, for anybody who's interested in trying out Rent the Runway, I will put a code in the show notes, but I can give you a code for 40% off your first month, which
Yeah.
is really fun to try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. I want the code. I will look that up so
Yeah,
I can get
I'll
it.
send you
But
the code as well.
I'm because it's you're like, "Oh, if it's 80 or $90 a month," but then I'm like, "Man, if I buy 1 or 2 things a month, that's 80 at least 80, $90, and then you're
I
not just having
agree.
clothing waste."
Yeah, I like it because is exactly that. It's like just trying stuff out. You can buy pieces that you don't aren't your go-tos, right?
Mm,
Blazers, especially a lot of clothing is seasonal, right? So
yeah.
if you want something that's especially the thing I do like about Rent the Runway is it's definitely higher quality items. And so being able to have a higher quality item for a period of time and then send it back is great because like we're saying, the $400 dress I was wearing is like a
Yeah.
casual
Yeah.
fun dress. I would never spend $400 on a I don't spend $4 on any dress, let alone something that I was just gonna wear with sneakers every day.
And
So,
also, if you like something, you get to keep it indefinitely as part of your 6 pieces. So
yes.
if you love that dress and had 2 more events, you could keep it, send back the rest. You can't do that with Nuuly, but I'm interested in doing that as well and talking about seasonal stuff. It is going to be 88 here today.
Oh, that's so nice. Just it's the
Yeah.
same temperature here as Nashville. I was really bummed. I thought Nashville was
Mm.
going to be warm, but it was not. But as I was telling Brian, I was like, it was fine because like I'm already adjusted to it. But it was like 35 there this morning.
I was following the forecast, so I knew it was gonna be cold and rainy. Not necessarily when we booked it, but the week that I was planning to bring stuff there, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll be inside the whole time." But it was a bummer that it was cold and rainy. I thought that it's the South, so it would be warm, so that
Yeah.
was a bummer for me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I thought it was gonna be a little bit nicer. I last night I when I went out to dinner, there was like a sand volleyball. There's two sand volleyball pits across from our hotel, and there's like sand volleyball games happening. And people were wearing t-shirts and shorts.
This
And it was
morning?
like yesterday evening.
Oh, okay.
And it was like 50s.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny in that like I got this sense the vibe of Nashville is it is spring and we wear shorts and t-shirts. And even if it's a cold
Yeah.
snap, it doesn't bother them. They're just like not paying attention to the weather and don't care. They're like, it's spring, we wear shorts and t-shirts, even though
Mm.
they're like freezing, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
it is a
also
fun visit.
yeah, it was, and I also thought it was funny, like we talked about, everyone at the airport was wearing cowboy hats.
Oh, Jess, I got to the airport and I saw the cowboy hat situation.
Yeah.
Everyone is wearing a cowboy hat,
They're
and we're
brand
not
new
talking
cowboy hats.
about cowboys wearing cowboy
No,
hats. We're
it's the
talking
tourists,
about
yeah.
60-something Susie in her, like, open-toed sandals wearing
Yeah,
a cowboy hat that has LED lights flashing on it, and she's with her
yeah.
husband. It's not like a bachelorette party or anything.
And we have nonstop flights to Nashville from Vegas, but on the way back, I just chose to connect through Denver because that way I could get out a little bit later. And in Denver, so far, all of Southwest connections that I've had so far are like right next to each other. So you land at gate 46, you leave at gate 47. Like it's been very nice. What we landed really early in Denver, and then on my flight, there were 17 people, and so they, like were like, "Okay, everybody." So you can tell there's no one on the flight. When I'm A-list preferred, and I forgot to check in, and I was A16. So I was like, "Oh, there's
Ooh,
nobody
holy
on the
cow.
flight,"
Like,
right?
literally nobody.
So I was the first, like, general boarding, and then they were like, "You have to spread out on the plane." Like, the plane seats 100 and
40 or
70
something.
people or
Mhm.
something, so they
70, okay.
said there were 150 open seats or something like that, and that was interesting. So the plane boarded really fast, and so we got out, like, 30 minutes early. So I landed 30 minutes early, and then not having checked a bag, went straight to my
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
So I had been doing Uber, and I've never done Lyft before, and just so you know, very interesting, Uber donated a ton to the Trump campaign.
Okay.
And Lyft donated a ton to ACLU. So I saw a little thing like that, and it was, like, something to think about, and I've never done Lyft. Do you do both?
I used to religiously do Lyft, and I didn't like
Right.
Uber, and then I switched back over to Uber,
Yeah.
and I haven't done Lyft in a long time,
'Cause
so
wasn't
that's good
Lyft
to know.
treating their people better or vice
Well,
versa? Or
yeah, it was like Uber was a little more roughshod in the
Mhm.
beginning, but a majority of drivers do both,
I
or at least
totally
I know
I see
that do
them, the
both,
lights are
so
both, yeah. Any
yeah,
car I get in, they do both, so I've just never done
that's good to
the
know. I'll
app,
have to
so just
consider using
something.
Lyft more.
Yeah, something to think about. Vegas is super touristy, so everything is outlined very nicely on how to get to the various places, and there's a whole system to get your ride share, so that was really nice. It was a great trip. It was great to see you. And like we talked about being inspired for fashion, we're also very inspired to network with other working women in our area and also lots of fun ideas for seasons 4 and 5 and beyond for Chasing Brighter, so stay tuned for all that exciting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun, and I was talking about I actually made a reel of it, I think, but just it's so nice to get away. Like, I don't do a lot of business travel much anymore, and I don't know what You were there for a shorter time. I had more downtime because I got there before you. So I was
Mhm.
there for like 4 hours by myself, and I couldn't get into the hotel. So there was a coffee shop nearby, and I sat and I read a book and had a coffee, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, like, yesterday and today, I woke up early because it's my time. Like, you had challenges probably because it was time difference for you. It was the same time as me, but I don't have to wake up and make breakfast for kids and get kids off to school. So, like, I was able to get up and work out, just a quick 20-minute workout both mornings, which was really awesome. And then I went to dinner by myself last night, which was really delicious. And I spent more than I should have, but I love eating by myself. I know listeners, you probably have heard this before from me, but and I went out to dinner at it was again the other restaurant right by our hotel. But what was funny about it was there was do you find this is why I like being by myself sometimes, is inevitably I'll be somewhere and there'll be a family with young children. And I find it to be just pure entertaining watch a mom and a dad, and it was a grandma, and it was a little baby, adorable. I'm gonna go with 16 months old, and then
Mhm.
like a 3-year-old girl who was like, "Mommy," the whole time. But I was like, "I'm so glad that I" like, it's not it's a chore when the kids are that age and you're going out to
Mm.
dinner.
There
And
was a
so
family at the airport, and the woman was, like, pregnant, and they had a 15-month-old and a 3-year-old, and the 15-month was, like, screaming the whole time at the terminal. And I don't think, like, "Shut that baby up." I think, "Oh, bless you. It's so hard to
yes,
travel with children, and I'm so
I am the
glad I'm
same where I'm
done."
like, "Oh, wow, I'm so glad I'm not at that stage anymore." I
Yeah.
do miss the cute little baby stages, but I'm like, "Oh, I'm so grateful to just be sitting at this dining room table by
Yeah.
myself with a glass of wine,
Yeah.
and it's just pure entertainment. By the way, Nashville Airport is quite it's a good people watching. It's like it's not Vegas
Yeah.
level.
There's a lot of live music at the airport too,
Yeah, it
which
was
is nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too.
I love Brussels sprouts. I love roasted Brussels sprouts, so I had some Brussels sprouts and a
Very few
cold glass of
airports.
rosé.
First of all, Vegas airport sucks from an experience perspective.
They don't have they have added and continue to add nicer dining, but it's just any other normal airport with Hudson News and a Burger King. Like, it's not
Well, I
anything
wouldn't say
special.
any other because I think a lot of airports have stepped up their game, and Vegas is not
It's
as
mid.
much.
Well, because I
It's
would
mid.
say Gabby and I flew to a million places, and and then we flew into Houston. I'm trying to think. I haven't really there isn't an airport that comes to mind that I'm like, Philadelphia is, like, under construction, and they don't keep their things open 24/7, so
But
we
they have
flew in
Sky
late,
that's fine. I mean,
so
the
it wasn't
24/7 doesn't
meh.
count. But Philly is the Sky Mall, right? Isn't it? They're one of they're like OG they were one of the OG airports that had, like, Bath& and Body what is it called? But,
Body
like
Works?
no, not Bath& and Body Works, The Body Shop. But they were one of the OGs that had a lot of really good like, you could do your shopping while you were in the airport thing. Vegas has a lot of souvenir shops, but what Vegas is lacking is an elevated experience
Yeah,
for
no,
people
our
who
airport
just
doesn't have
wanna
it, but I
sit
also feel like
and eat.
not I would say at like, Charlotte's nice, Atlanta maybe the South is nice because 'cause I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to
Atlanta's
think of
nice,
airports that I
but they're
feel like have been,
newer.
like, fancy because it's like the thing about Philadelphia is you're not gonna get customer service, and I lived in Philadelphia, and it's, "Let's throw the food at you, get out of my face," and also there was a lot of construction, and it does matter if it's not open, so if you land at 9 and that's 6 o'clock your time and everything's closed, it's, "Oh, that's a bummer," but
That would be
yeah.
every airport, though. Every airport
Mm-mm.
closes like that,
No, I
except
don't know.
Vegas. So Vegas has
Yeah.
crappy things, they're just open longer.
Did I
Because
land
Midway
late?
shuts down early all the time.
I don't know how late I've been at Nashville, but Nashville is really nice and still booming. But yeah, interesting. Anyway, so hopefully this episode has inspired you to maybe travel somewhere, go somewhere, have a girls' trip, do something fun.
Yeah, or just get away by yourself and go out to dinner
Yeah.
and watch other people struggle with their children. It's I highly recommend it. Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend. Find us on Instagram, Facebook at Chasing Brighter, or check out our blog at chasingbrighter.com and follow us. If you want to know more about Kelly and I, read our blogs, find more tips, tools, and resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com. Thanks. Remember, your best life is just a listen away.